Good Yom Tov. To all in attendance, those in our sanctuary, members at home, and to welcome guests who may be watching as well. So I'm about to utter 10 words I never thought I would say as a member at HARJC. My name is Stephen Moelis, and I'm your new president. When I was 7, my family celebrated my brother's bar mitzvah in Israel. One of my strongest memories was the feeling of accomplishment after climbing Masada. I remember turning to my dad and asking him if this is what Moses felt like when he reached the top of Sinai. Today, I find myself asking this: has Herjik completed its own climb up the mountain? No words can adequately capture what we experienced over the last year and a half, or how we met the challenges that enable us to enter the next chapter of Herjik's story in a stronger position than before. As to the latter, I express endless thanks to Herjik's professional staff, Cheryl Karp and our nursery school teachers, Hazan Zakarin and our religious school teachers, Effa Liebskind and her incredible office staff, Betsy, Jane, and Jeanette, our ritual director, Rena Wolf, our coordinator of family engagements, Rebecca Osder, and James Reynolds and his tireless maintenance staff. Together, our dedicated staff surmounted every hurdle they faced with ingenious ways to abide by pandemic restrictions, and yet still produced innovative programs and services. Accolades also go to Herjik's lay leaders, our outgoing president, Harold Kislick, our executive board, Audrey Polinsky, Stephen Kreit, Stanley Cohn, David Koffler, Liz Kislick, Elaine Garver, Rachel Cooper, Laura Underweiser, and Norman Doctor. And special thank yous to Dr. Jonathan Altis, Lisa Cohn, Nora Skiba, Lev Hernson, Keith Harrow, Roberta Sugarman, Tamar Barbash, and the volunteer members on the Education House Ritual, Finance, and Opening Committees, who made Herjik operate in the face of repeated demands to adjust their plans to ever-changing financial and health considerations. As to what our members faced over the last 18 months, if the first 2 months since I became president are any indication, the toll felt by members was enormous. The isolation from or loss of loved ones, the economic impact on businesses, the effect on our children, and the difficult line many straddled between taking care of their families and being there for those less fortunate. Accordingly, while I cannot say for sure where Herjik finds itself on the mountain after the last year and a half, I would like to offer my own perspective. During COVID, Herjik consciously chose to remain an active, socially engaged, and community-oriented congregation. While other synagogues in the area closed their schools and youth programs, Herjik's nursery school remained a thriving institution. Our religious school retained the gold standard for Jewish education, and our youth and family engagement programs expanded their appeal to children and facilitated 14 new members joining Herjik. While other synagogues found it impossible to support an in-house catering operation or offer educational program or even conduct basic ritual services, our caterer, Saffron Culinary, made our building a premier events location that will significantly contribute to our operational budget. We increased our educational and cultural opportunities for members through our sisterhood and our adult education committee and and Herjik's ritual services, including daily minyan, remained robust and well attended. And while other synagogues relegated themselves to financial inertia and distilled their spiritual leadership to a single individual, Herjik completed a successful $500,000 capital campaign to transform our ballroom and reception room into a beautifully modern space and welcomed a learned, energetic, and charismatic rabbi to our community to further Herjik's choice to remain a permanent fixture for conservative, egalitarian Jewish values on the South Shore of Long Island. In essence, while other synagogues opted for diminishment, Herjik chose success. In the coming year, therefore, my goal, our goal, should be to build on Herjik's standing as a place that positively supports Jewish religious and ethical values and does not shy away from the challenges a changing world drops on our doorstep. With that in mind, my greeting today is directed to 3 individuals. First, to our new spiritual leader, Rabbi Michelle Schlesinger. Abrako. In March 2020, the Rabbi Search Committee received your letter asking if Herjik's search for a rabbi had ended. Thankfully, it had not. Over the last 18 months, you went above and beyond every metric to speak with, meet with, pray with, and work with Herjik's staff and congregation to pave the way for your arrival in the United States. We are excited to welcome you, Juliana, Tamar, and Naomi to our community. We do so with open hearts and minds. We have grown to mutually respect each other's talents, share a genuine affection for each other's families, and are enthusiastic for Herjik's future, not just this year or next year, but in 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years from now. Our union was beshert, and I ask you to guide us spiritually, engage with our members and their children, and to work with us to fulfill the promise our synagogue embodies. Second, to our esteemed cantor, Chazan Bani Zakarin. For a long time, you have shouldered the burden of spiritual leadership, injected vitality into our religious school, and served as a bridge for members to engage with Herjik. As a congregation, we have been blessed first to share in your marriage to Moshe, and now the adoption of your son, Heschel Malachi, who is already enrolled in our nursery school this year. You and your family are entwined in the Herjik community. My hope is that you will share your knowledge of our congregation with our new rabbi so he can match your boundless energy to make Herjik an inviting place for members and prospective members, and that together, the two of you will achieve great things for Herjik's future. Finally, to my fellow members, in July, we lost a dear member, Harry Castle, who created the Patron Society. The Patron Society was started in 1978 to plug a one-time budget shortfall. Today, 43 years later, the Patron Society is a six-figure pillar of Herjik's fundraising operations. When I first told Harry that Melanie and I joined the Patron Society, he smiled and said to me, "You do something when you're young, and it can grow into something better with the next generation." I remain convinced Herjik's future can be brighter than the present. I say this not because we practice Judaism in a singular fashion, or celebrate our heritage in a specific way, or think monolithically about the state of Israel or American politics. Rather, I say this because many of us share a desire for Herjik to flourish beyond our time as members. We have seen the good Herjik offers and choose to act now so Herjik can grow into something even better with the next generation. That common purpose, however, requires us to collectively engage as members and to financially support Herjik's mission. That is what it means to be a community. So what lies ahead? When confronted with challenges in my youth, my dad advised me as follows: analytically set a course, surround yourself with the talent to achieve your goal, trust your instincts, and don't get too distracted by what's to the left or right of you as you proceed. My dad's vision was moored to a sense of humility that prevented him from ever getting so enamored with his own ideas that he rejected needed corrections along the way. His words will reflect my philosophy as president. Between the blessing and the curse, life and death, Herjik will choose life. The climb up the mountain continues. My part in our journey as president is but a piece. But I welcome your companionship and encourage you with this. Find 10 words you never thought you'd say as a member at Herjik, your own set of 10 words, and act on those words. May each of you and your families be written in the book of life for a sweet and healthy new year. L'shana tova.